Hey, what's going on, everyone? Here we have the dollar. You can see the breakdown. The whipsaw, cross, close inside, the rejection here, and then today it broke down previous lows, closed at the lows just above. I think that's a bearish retracement. It's not much of a hammer with that wick on top, plus it broke down. Could be the beginning of a V bottom, but now that it broke down and came all the way back in, I'm calling a bearish retracement, allowing for price to come back down. So there you go. Got one more day tomorrow for some trading. Looks like it broke down pretty good past that 8. The weekly 8 is very important to stay above that to keep momentum going. But it looks like it broke down there. S&P looks like a reverse head and shoulders. Looks like the the right shoulder is being put in here. So it doesn't look like this is over yet, as it broke down and broke all the way back in above the 8 on a daily chart. Weekly, let's see if we got a reversal bar forming. Nothing yet, but it's definitely the whipsaw again from previous highs so far. Could be a reverse head and shoulders forming on the long term as well. See if that's a top or not. Reverse head and shoulders at the top of charts are that exactly their tops. So watch for a failed reverse head and shoulders. Although the craziness of today, these markets being all fluffy, I wouldn't doubt any kind of push across that trend line. Flat top break. Looks like Dow Jones still missed its mark at 20,000, but you know, was it 3 points away, 2.5 points, whatever. Still. There's a hammer there. Looks like a reverse head and shoulders on a top. So plus that breakdown and then recovery, could be a bearish retracement back into resistance, and got a little rejected there. But nice hammer on Dow Jones. Let's see with the S&P. Same with the S&P. Reversal bar. So common story. Let's see if this is an actual hammer, or is it a bearish retracement hanging man. Time will tell. We'll see if this opens up or opens down, confirming that candle. So far on the daily, on the Dow, it's below EMA 8 and above on the S&P. So let's see how this turns out. One more day of trading. I'm going with the bearish retracement as it was in the dollar. The breakdown back into resistance is the bearish retracement, allowing for prices to keep going down. So we'll see what happens on those two. There's a nice reversal bar there, minus the tiny bit of wick. So hanging man again. Prices came down, bounced, came all the way back into resistance. See if we can get a close below the EMA 8 on the daily. Start its course all the way back down into support. I don't know though, on the weekly it looks like a bounce. This has to be confirmed at all costs. So anything breaking down, confirming. We also have this trading action here, so 2 days in a row, some kind of a hanging man action. Let's go gold. Gold broke above 1200 and then came back into support. So all night it broke, well, not all night, but it broke at night, middle of the night, and then on the open it just retraced all the way back into support. So that there, because it's at a bottom, calling that a inverted hammer, head fake. Let's see how tonight they run this thing at night. Retrace it all day, kind of annoying. Probably a common occurrence from here on out. Let's see what happened here. That's got a hold. I was hoping for a smack into that 13, but it looks like it's having a hard time. On the weekly, let's put it down a little bit more. Looks like we got a double top. Coming on support lines here for the 4 hour. Let's see, it's got to bounce. To keep that momentum, it closed on the 4 hour below the EMA 8. Daily might be a falling star coming all the way back in. I'm not sure if this also, be careful out there if this confirms on the way down. Could be one of those like this candle when it breaks back down below the 34. Right now we're pretty steady. 1, 2. We also have a bullish retracement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks above. So it's getting established above the 34. But I don't like this candle at all. But it did, on the other hand, break above 12 and come back into support. You can see that support. Got rejected on previous lows. So let's get it back above 12 one more time. Use that as our support. But watch for the breakdown below, as it has plenty of support all the way back into the previous break. Silver. Really thought silver was going to take off this morning, but it just retraced all the way back. You can see that accumulation though. That sharp U. See what happens. You got a reverse head and shoulders here. Getting that right shoulder to curl pretty fast. Consolidated all day. Let's see if we can find a stair step. Some kind of a stair step back into support. Broke. Stair step. And that last part looks like an accumulation. So, look for any kind of breakdown. That's entirely possible. As you got support all the way back into previous breaks. Looks like it got rejected on this previous low here. So let's get above that previous low, into the next previous low, into those previous lows. Looking for a good run, but so far got rejected. Very hesitant. Nice reversal bar. See if it'll hold. Any kind of breakdown, allowing price to come back in for another longer term bullish retracement. Where we had the crack here, bullish retrace there, and then broke. And then now as it's hesitant. Look for anything coming back into previous low breaks all the way into support. Really hard to tell, but that reversal bar, because it's above, I'm going with longer term bullishness, as it did break. Actually, this one didn't break. It got rejected at 17. So silver looked really bullish until it just retraced all day. Looking at the 6 hour, or dollar, the hourly, I'm going to reverse head and shoulders here, and then the right shoulder coming in. And this is, you can see that stair step. Pop, all the way back in, pop, all the way back in, pop. That is a bullish consolidation pattern. Continuation pattern too. So it's got to hold. Silver looks good. They brought that thing all the way back in. Just bare knuckling it. Definitely a stair step back into support after the break. Hopefully they'll let it run. Copper. Copper looks like a double top. A couple of wicks. Good support. It's breaking into previous highs. Closing on its lows. Doesn't look good for copper. It needs to gather its legs again, it looks like. Closing on its lows for today. Weekly though, nice U. See if we can gather its legs real quick. And daily. Looks like daily broke out. So quick gathering of the legs on the hourly. As it makes the top. You got previous highs, previous highs, previous highs, all support. Daily looks awesome. Get the break. For the week, looks like it's closing near its highs. It's primed for a breakout. Copper. Pretty nice. You can see that bottom pattern corkscrewed. See if we can get this thing running. Bitcoin came all the way back in, just $5 off the mark. $7.54. Bounced pretty good. Get that weekly above the 8, holding that momentum. See how sharp and clean this is going to churn. The quicker the churn, the bigger the move. So it'll break all-time highs. That'd be pretty nice. So it looks like Bitcoin's feeling a bottom out after it broke from previous flat top break all the way back into support. So it looks healthy. That's a bullish retracement. Crude still lacking. Looks like a whipsaw coming in. See if it'll hold here. Like a nice reversal off support, 2-bar pattern. Shanghai coming all the way back into support. It's got to hold previous lows. And on the weekly, you can see the bullish retracement. Hold its lows. Could come down a little bit, but right now it's battling for previous highs. 10-year bond, looks like it's coming down. See the bearish retracement now. Back into resistance. Looks like this thing's going to come down. I got gap support at 219 all the way to 212. See if it'll hold that area. Otherwise, I got another gap down here, which would bring this all the way back into previous pattern. So then watch, if it comes down here, watch for a whipsaw as the gap's going to fill back into support. I don't know if it'll get that far though. Got to break previous lows, previous lows, previous lows, all the way down to previous highs. Nikkei. Double topping it. Looks like it's breaking previous lows. It's into support. See if it'll hold. Still working a heavy, heavy double top. This is coal is getting its gathered its legs right off the top there, or off the bottom trend. Little whipsaw. Came back across the 8. Consolidated, broke above the 8 again, came back into the 8 for support. Now it's primed to break that 13. Looks like momentum's building. Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank looks like a reverse head and shoulders at a top. I can't say that it's a top, but nice U. Looks like it got rejected. Came back inside previous highs. Could be just a hiccup. There's a reverse head and shoulders coming off support. It's got to hold 18. Watch for previous high breaks. Looks a little bit bullish, but it did get rejected today. Went bullish, got rejected. Look for previous low breaks. It's got to hold that right shoulder. Reverse head and shoulders. Longer term, it looks like a bullish pattern over the 34, holding support on the 8. It's got to hold support. AG. Everything was a little hectic today, but you can see that the crosses, 8 cross into the 13, came all the way back down, and then inverted hammer right over the 8, popped over the 13, and then came back in, and then popped, and then came back in. It's building the right shoulder. AG is one to watch. It was a good runner last time. Plus, they brought it all the way up. Nice fancy little reversal bar, came it all the way back down. Right into previous highs. So it looks like it's churning. It's going to take a while, but it looks like it's working it. Nice consolidation, accumulation right here. Pop. It's got to hold support. Looks like daily came in with a little reversal bar. Not perfect, but it had that trading action back into support. But look out below, as previous lows can be broken at any time. Wow, it looks pretty tight. All the way down, pop. GDX. Still trying to get that thing to break out. Flat top break coming in. Look at that flat top break, and then got rejected. Still need consolidation whenever that happens. Breaking above that cup and handle we had going on. Breaking into that pattern now. So it got rejected as it broke into that pattern. You got a left shoulder. Right shoulder's forming. Look for any kind of previous high breaks. Previous high breaks, flat top breaks are coming in. Consolidation could take forever. Breaking in the previous lows. You got a meeting line and previous lows right there. Lots of resistance. Looks like between 1050 and on the way up to 11. JNUG. Pretty volatile today. Gapped open, filled the gap, and continued, and then recovered. You can see the balance point. Took the previous low and the first opposing point. So it gapped above there, filled the gap, back and forth, back and forth. I don't know if that line's appropriate anymore. So it broke out, previous highs, came all the way back in, closing at 829. I do believe this is gearing up all of these Nugget, GDX, J. They're all gearing up for a pretty good size move, I think. So I just patient all day as it retraced. One thing to notice is the whipsaw on the gap open. Gap open, whipsaw, came back into the pattern and just broke that 8. Now we got some kind of a deal going on now. A little bounce, but it did break outside of the 2 trend lines there. Luckily closing inside the trend line. Anything could happen. This could just turn around, break previous lows, and come back in. As you can see, the top pattern range is 9 to 7. So it could come all the way back in. Nice bounce off the 13. Still holding my breath for a very nice ascending triangle flat top break. Back into previous lows, which bring us 10 to 11. Here we are breaking in. Into previous lows, into previous lows. Lots of work to do. But I'm still bullish, even though this thing broke out, came all the way back in. Did bounce, and it did bounce outside the pattern, came back inside the pattern. So we got a whipsaw, and then another whipsaw all in the same day. So which whipsaw is going to win, I don't know yet, but I'm guessing upwards. URRE, looks like it reached the top. It's coming back in. Look for your support lines, previous lows, previous lows, previous lows. Could be primed to come all the way back into the 2 area. You never know. As long as it holds 50% of this and the previous lows on this. But you can see the previous low breakdown. So good time when you see that to take a profit. Things don't run up forever. Plus that nasty reversal bar on the hourly. Got to hold previous lows. Broke down below the 8, so that's usually my cue to take profits. Breaking previous lows. Pretty nice run though. Damn. All the way into previous lows. Came back in on that balance point. Previous low and the opposing point. Gotta hold that line. Otherwise it's likely to come all the way back into support. Which is not bad. I mean, if I saw this break out and then come all the way back into support, that's like a gift. Let's see. I think that's it. Nothing more to add. Got a question on DLLF. Not sure. It was BNNLF. Just not sure about this. It is definitely a breakout. It looks like you bought it, Sluggo. You bought it back into support, which is awesome. And you let it ride. Just not sure. Very, very scanty volume. Play at your own risk. Nice volume coming in, but if that volume dries up, so will the price. So just be careful. You've got a balance point somewhere right there. So there is a nice trend line break, if you can get up there. I'm going to use that gap as my balance point. Not perfect, not exact, but you can see the waveform coming in, breaking down, making the bottom, and then breaking back into the previous waveform. So that could be a really good one for you. Good thing is you got in early. Also, you want to take notice of their OBV, which is down in the dumps. But if this thing runs back at the previous highs, it could be a nice one for you. So just be careful because the lack of volume, if that dries up, so will the price. It'll be everyone heading for the exits all at the same time. Put in your orders beforehand just in case you get a pop. You can get your order filled and then follow it all the way back in. That'd be nice. Anyways, that's it, guys. I got some donations. I really appreciate it. It's like the best compliment ever. If you see the PayPal button on my channel, go ahead and donate and buy me a cup of coffee. That's all it takes. Greatest compliment ever. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you guys later.